Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all well. Thank you for stopping by. If you're seeing me for the very first time, my name is Blessing. I am an agent here in North Cyprus. I process students admission from different African countries and I bring you all to North Cyprus successfully, seamlessly, and the process just goes smoothly. So if you want to study in North Cyprus this fall semester, which is September/October, if you want to study in North Cyprus, just feel free, contact me through the medium that is displayed on the screen and I'll process your admission for you and you successfully arrive here in North Cyprus. Just feel free, contact me. Alright guys, so let's get into today's video. Okay, so in today's video I'll be talking about the new quarantine rules for students entering Cyprus. So for students that will be entering Cyprus from September, what is the new quarantine rule? As you guys know, we are drawing very close to the arrival of students, new students coming to North Cyprus. And I always say on my channel that things have changed. Rules keep changing day after day. And that's why you need us, the Global Educational Services, to process your admission. And also, not only processing your admission, we are holistic, like your accommodation, most especially the guidance that you will need if there is any sudden change of rule. Because if you've been following North Cyprus for these years now, you know that they will just wake up today, tomorrow they just change rule. And if you're not updated, you just find yourself stranded at the airport or something. So yeah, you need us, you need the Global Educational Services, you need us to process your admission and give you all the guidance you need. Very important, all the guidance you need. So yes, it's been a very I would say good transition, yes, from the COVID era to this 2022. Now it's August, okay? So there's been a lot of things that have happened since 2020, the quarantine and everything. You can go to my old videos, see how I was just updating you guys and telling you all what you need to know. So the point now is there going to be quarantine for this fall semester? Is there going to be quarantine? So I just got a latest information and I felt like it's good for me to share to you guys, okay? So based on the information that we got, there is not going to be strict, listen my words, there is not going to be strict quarantine rule. So let me digress further and tell you what I mean by there is not going to be strict quarantine rule. Before, whether you're vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, so far you're coming from some specific countries. Yeah, I think if I have time, I will just put the list how they used to do it that time. They have countries and continents. Based on your country, they will put a color code, or based on your continent. But basically, all the African countries was included in one category. So this I'm just explaining previously. So there was a strict rule: whether you're vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, you'll be quarantined. And the quarantine period was 2 weeks, which was for 14 days. You get. So this year they now loosened it, and so this is the information now. So earlier on this year, which was the spring semester, they loosened the restriction, like the stringent quarantine period. They reduced it, and so yeah, so as I was saying, so now if you are not vaccinated, you can freely come into North Cyprus. North Cyprus has been this country that's never stopped student entering. From the 2022, they never stopped student entering, but they just keep telling you the different measures that they will be taking. So anyways, so early this year, that's the spring semester, February semester, if you're not vaccinated, if you've never taken the vaccinated, when you come in, you have to, before you're even, the truth is that whether you're vaccinated or not, so you have to do COVID-19 test when you're traveling. Okay, you do the COVID-19 test less than 72 hours. You do the COVID-19 test when you're traveling. So when you enter North Cyprus, it will still be within that 72 hours. When you arrive and you're not as in you're not vaccinated, you'll be required to do quarantine for 7 days. Now, after the 7 days, they now shifted it to 5 days. That is for people that are not vaccinated. When you arrive with your COVID test, obviously your negative COVID test, you have to be quarantined in your home, or if you're staying in the hostel, in the home for 7 or 5 days. Then after then, you go to the hospital, do a test. Once the test is negative, you are free. Then you now go to do the rest things that you came to do in North Cyprus as a student. Okay, so now let me move over to those that are vaccinated. Listen listen very well. Listen this point very well, because even people that passed through my agency had these issues, and let me just break it down for you guys. So in North Cyprus, for you to be considered vaccinated, it has to be, you have to take the 2 doses. I know they have boosters and all whatnot, but these 2 doses, you must take it to be considered fully vaccinated. So I know some of you guys took only 1 dose and you think that you're considered vaccinated. No. So now, this part that I'm about to explain to you is that if you've taken the 2 doses, okay, let me explain this other part. If you've taken just 1 dose, just know that you'll be considered under this other, my first point, you'll be considered under people that are not vaccinated. So you'll be doing either 5 days or 7 days quarantine. It's just sit down in the house and eat and grow fat. I'm just kidding, but just stay in the house and just quarantine and everything. So my point is that if you've taken only 1 dose, you're not considered vaccinated, so you'll be in the category of non-vaccinated people, and it's not a big deal. Just stay 5 days or 7 days depending, and voila, you're done. Then for those that are vaccinated, that is, you've taken 2 doses and above, when you arrive, obviously you come with your negative COVID-19 test, which is PCR test. You come with a negative PCR test. Then when you arrive here, you have to come with your card. Most importantly, you have to come with your card. You cannot tell them verbatim that I'm vaccinated. Nobody will accept that. You have to come with your card. So when you arrive at the airport, after the immigration, you meet these other people that does this control. Then when you show them your card, you're free. Like, you're not going to be doing any quarantine. I hope you understand. I hope you understand this thing. So let me now go further. About 2 months now, North Cyprus has even losing, like, when I mean, like, it looks like, because there's a lot that I have to talk about this, but I don't want the video to be long, obviously. North Cyprus, even from that 2020, because it's not a big country, so people don't talk about it. North Cyprus was the one, I think I will link the video that we are talking about, that they recorded no case of COVID in North Cyprus. Outstanding. And that's the reason why North Cyprus opened very early. So let me now take you back to the present tense now. So the present tense now, I think it started from June. Yeah, it started from June. They announced it before the June, that from June you don't need to wear masks, you don't need to do whatever, because those of us that were working, and if you're not vaccinated, you have to be doing, if you're not vaccinated, because I was just thinking, because there are some people that are vaccinated, my colleagues, this one practical, they are vaccinated, but sometimes they always, time to time, they still go to the test and they'll be positive. Yeah, they'll be positive. So anyways, my point, so if you're not vaccinated, you'll be required to be doing tests time to time. But now in North Cyprus, since from June, they've made it that you're not mandated to wear masks. If you're going to the mall, you're going to shopping, or you're going for grocery shopping, like you're going to any place, outdoor, indoor, whatever, you're not required to wear masks. So they loosen the required, like, it's just like it's non-existent. COVID issues or stories is non-existent. That is how they made it. So this is what is bringing this up. Chances are there might not even be any need for any quarantine, whether you're vaccinated or not, but you have to come with a negative PCR test. That's your COVID-19 test. You have to come with your negative PCR test. So that is where the future is unfolding to. Okay, that is where the future is unfolding to. However, I have students that will be arriving from 1st of September, from 1st. So if there is any changes, or if there is any hoping, or what we are seeing, so if there is any changes after my students start arriving, at least from 1st of September, I'll have the most current rules and everything. I will come up to this channel to explain to you guys that this is practically what has happened to my student that arrived on the 1st of September. Okay, so but basically, those of you that are having this concern, if you are having this concern that if you're not vaccinated, can you come into North Cyprus, or all those things, then if taking just one dose, can you come in and everything? Cyprus is not into those stringent rules of whether vaccinated or not, or whatever. But like I said, all what I've been explaining, you just know where you fall into and everything will be fine. So lastly, like I said, we are agents in North Cyprus, and the name of our agency is Global Educational Services. You want to study in North Cyprus, contact us. Our process is seamless. We'll process everything for you and you arrive in North Cyprus successfully. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video really helped you and give you an insight on what is to happen. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.